You don't sound too hopeful. Are you going to stay up, in a word?
No.
Hello again, Devils. Here to talk Sunderland, previewing the game. We've got two United Devil fans with me, Justin and Jack. We've got Sunderland representation through Peter. But Peter, hold tight for a few moments. We'll get to you, try and work out maybe how many points you need to stay in the league. Starting with Justin, though, let's go to you first, sir. What about this game against Sunderland? Does it matter? Should we just throw the points away at this stage and focus on the Chelsea game? What do you think?
No, it does matter, and no, we definitely shouldn't just throw the points away. I know we're 15 points clear, and I know everyone thinks, oh, we can afford to lose this game, it doesn't matter, but I seriously think we should go all out to get a win. I don't really see City catching us, but why take the chance? You know, after last season, we got a little bit overconfident. I just think the main thing has got to be the league and getting the points. And also, we have got a lot of tough games coming up. We've got Chelsea, we've got City at home, away to Arsenal, away at West Brom, away at Stoke. So you don't want to be taking any chances going into the final 6 or 7 games.
And Jack, because it's the early kick-off, I suppose you can rub a bit of salt in the wounds of City, can't you, ahead of the derby? 18 points, how does that sound? For a few hours at least.
Yeah, well, it'd be a pretty big morale boost for us. And I think that depending whichever team we do play, whether it's the A team or the B team, I think we've still got we should win it either way. With attacking-wise, whether it's Rooney or Van Persie, Hernandez or Welbeck, either way, we have got two amazing strike partnerships there and we should win the match. Well,
let's go on to what you boys have picked for the teams. Let's start with Justin's, because you talk about the B team, and you've both kind of gone for a B side. De Gea, no discussion, I suppose. He can play 2 games in 48 hours, can't he, as the goalkeeper. But across the back 4 there, Justin, to talk us through it, you've obviously gone for Smalling at right back, bit of a shout. Vidic, Evans, and then Every. You rest Raphael, but not the old boy Ever in full-back. Explain that.
I think Butner is a bit more of a liability than Smalling is at right back. Smalling isn't as good as Raphael, but he can do a good job. Yeah. Butner is okay, but he's a bit of a risk, and I just wouldn't be taking that risk. And I think it's asking a lot of Evra. I know he's past he's past 30, but I think he can play 2 games if he has to in that short
space of time. That's a problem for United, isn't it, with Butner there, that you can't rest Evra at this age?
I'm not for this game, I wouldn't. If it was, say, you know, a Wigan at home or a much easier game, Sunderland away can be tricky, and I wouldn't take that chance.
Let's bring in the midfield then. Valencia at the right wing, hoping to get some confidence there. Carrick and Anderson, and then Young on the left wing. Talk to me about Young. Do you hope that he's galvanised himself with that goal for England against San Marino?
I hope so. I really do. I mean, I'm a big Ashley Young fan. I know he's had his detractors. And I'm also looking at... This is sort of the team that I expect, because I'm looking at towards the Chelsea game. I think Giggs will play against Chelsea on the left. So looking at that, I expect Ashley Young to play against Sunderland.
And looking at the strikers you got there for us, Justin, Kagawa behind Welbeck, an opportunity to see Shinzi in his preferred position.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a big, massive Kagawa fan. I think he's a great player, and I think against Sunderland he could revel in it and really do them some damage. The reason I've gone for Welbeck, at first I was going to go for Hernandez, but I just think Welbeck spent a season at Sunderland. Is that going to play on Sir Alex's mind? He might think that give him a game against his former club, because it's a club that he knows and it's a club that he did really well at, so he might rise to the occasion there. Yeah,
playing well maybe needs a goal. Welbeck's now in Jack's team, but he's playing him in midfield. Just a couple of changes, Jack. Amazing. You're going for 2 separate sort of B-sides, but so similar. 9 out of 11 you've gone with Justin's. We've got Raphael in there. You're not resting him. And you've gone with Hernandez up top. Talked about Hernandez, though, because his record against Chelsea would suggest maybe he's better served at Stamford Bridge on Monday.
That is very, very true. But again, I feel like at Stamford Bridge, I would like Rooney and Van Persie both in the team. I think together they will be very dangerous. And again, Van Persie was fantastic at Stamford Bridge early this season. And Hernandez, I wanted them both in the team, Hernandez and Welbeck, because I'd like to see him play as much football as they can. And I think they could both play 90 minutes in that side. And I think they'll both score goals as well.
And quick word on Welbeck at left midfield. I mean, he's not scoring any goals. Is that almost becoming an option for him to become a midfielder?
Since we're going for a kind of 4-4-1-1 formation, I figured he's been very good at tracking back this season. He's been very good at, if we need him to, he can mark, say, like with Xabi Alonso, he can take someone out of the game by really stepping on their toes. And he's got the pace. I'd rather see him up front because he can be a great goal scorer. Yeah. But he's not been scoring that many goals this season. He'll be very effective down the left nonetheless. And I think Hernandez and Kagawa will both bang on him.
Industrious and energetic. He's probably fit enough to play 2 in 2 days. Who else is though? There's a big squad.
Welbeck, sorry to interrupt. Do you not think Welbeck is a bit wasted on the left wing? I always think he's sort of a lot of games.
Does he finish enough though? Is he a good finisher to be up front?
he's not been given a chance though. I have this argument a lot of times with people when it comes to Danny Welbeck, and I think he doesn't get many chances on the up front. Sorry, and I think sometimes when he's played on the left wing, I mean, I saw him play on the left wing against Sunderland at Old Trafford years ago, and the game seems to completely pass him by. I think he ended up getting subbed at half time, or he certainly came off. And I just think it's a little bit of a waste of him. I think we've got other options, and I think play Welbeck up front, or just off the striker, or don't play him. I think we've got other wingers we can play.
Let's bring in the Black Cat fan. Peter, what do you think then? Who do you fear most? Do you fear Danny? Do you fear him more as a striker than a left winger, Peter?
Oh, he's definitely better as a striker than a left winger. I mean, it was a few years ago, but he was very ineffective when he played on the left wing for us. So I think striker's probably his best position. But of the 4 main United options, I'd much prefer him up front than any of the others. So.
Now, how important is this game for you? Because we're talking about United. Is Monday more important? Is Saturday more important? But I tell you what, every game's important for you because no one's talking about you as relegation trouble, but you're right down there, aren't you? And in horrible form.
Oh yeah, horrible form, horrible fixtures. We've got Chelsea, Newcastle and Everton next after this. So home to the Man United B team most probably is a great chance of
I tell you what,
3 points really.
The fixture congestion's come nicely for you, but do you fear a bit of a reaction? Because we haven't talked about this yet, but last day of the season, United win at Sunderland, lose the league though, and Sunderland fans rejoice. Do you think it might be a little bit of needle? Fergie will be fired up for this one?
Yeah, Fergie's been very vocal on his feelings about this, but I remember quite a few years ago we got relegated at Old Trafford in one of the 15 or 19 point seasons or something, and we took a lot of stick from the United fans, and I think Man United fans are just a lot more sensitive to these type of things than the other clubs are really. So I'm sure they will react to it, but I think it's a complete overreaction really.
Overreaction, Justin? What do you think? Is there a bit of needle here?
I think there's more needle with the fans, perhaps more than there will be with some of the players. I don't think it's going to have that big an impact. So I think that the fans will remember that. I think the images of the Sunderland fans doing a Poznan will stick with me. But I think in terms of the players, I think they'll just be a lot of these players. If they are fringe players, they'll have a point to prove anyway. Yeah,
they've got Adam Johnson, of course, former City. Who's going to cause a danger though? Because looking at your team, no one's dominating the stats at the moment. The man who is Fletcher, he's out for 6 weeks. Peter, who's that danger man?
Well, I mean, Mignolet is our best player at the moment. He's been brilliant. But yeah, Fletcher's out, Stesnion's out. So hopefully Johnson will decide he can remember how to play football again and he might cause United some danger.
The use of the word hopefully, you don't sound too hopeful. Are you going to stay up, in a word?
No.
Fair enough. Well, on that note, let's talk predictions. But I tell you what, we'll get to you last, Peter, because you sound a bit depressed. Try and revive yourself. Let's start with Justin. Justin, I'm going to go for a 2-1 win. Javi Hernandez to score the winner, perhaps off the bench. What are you going for?
I'm going to go with 1-0 Danny Welbeck.
1-0 Danny Welbeck against his former club. A bit of a fairy tale. Jack, you?
2-0 United. Very efficient win. Good at the back. Hernandez and Kagawa.
Solid roll on the FA Cup Monday. And Peter, you've had time to think about your woes. What have you got for us?
I've put my optimistic hat on, so I'm going to say a 1-0 scrappy victory.
Wow, maybe the survival fight on for Sunderland. Right, gents, good to have your thoughts. Remember to get your predictions in. We're running a league. I nailed it last time against Reading 1-0. Probably won't do so again, but do put your scores on there. Check us out on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter. We'll be back soon.
If you're a United fan, whether you're in Tahrir Square or in Old Trafford, you better subscribe.